Hey, Mr. Horne. Todd. Fair Fox.
I remember you.
Hey. Good right?
Man, get along as I said.
Yeah, I do better. I don't know if you read my emails.
Oh, I read every one of them.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to explain everything. Too much. Hey, I'm not just trying to rock boats, I promise.
Okay, what you doing? Have a seat.
Yeah. I thought that when I came out here and saw you, 6 or 8 months ago, when I filed those complaints that I filed, I thought that we were kind of on the same page about things. I don't expect you to agree with everything that I think, but, when I got the reports back where you had made notes about, well, he didn't, he overacted, when I got the handcuffs.
I don't think you want to see it, but go ahead.
Well, I've got it on my phone, but.
I've got the whole report.
Yeah, if you want to get it, but, I thought it said something about overreacting. Didn't you?
No, that was your perception of what I said, that's not what I said.
Well, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
Okay, well, let me explain one thing.
Yeah.
I don't make all I do is I find facts.
Right.
And the facts is what I presented in that, and I got to do that in an unbiased way. I can't put my thoughts.
I was hoping that you would.
I'm not allowed to.
Well, I wish we could get our heads together and look at it word for word, but it felt like you did put a little bias in there.
That's where you were looking at it with your feelings rather than your.
I try to look at it, with an open mind and see it from a different perspective than my own, because I know I'm not always right.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've filed about 10 complaints, and I only got, sir?
At least.
Yeah, I thought it was about 10. And about 7 of them were mainly on Enzor.
Mm-hmm.
And every single one of them, well, I only got back 3 or 4 replies. And you might as well set the same, just make a copy and send it to me. Make a copy.
And it's pretty much the same way, that it looks when you file a complaint. It's pretty much a copy of the same one as the last complaint. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, I got the same answer on every single complaint. It said the officer followed protocol.
Right.
And what I have a question about, there's 2 instances, well, there's really 3 instances where Enzor didn't have a body camera on.
Okay.
When he recovered my car on Neighbor Avenue after it had been wrecked into a telephone pole with all the damage, he didn't have any body camera.
What does our body camera policy say?
It says to wear it.
Okay, you got to wear it. When do you turn it on?
Anytime you come into contact with a citizen that you're talking with,
Okay.
I got a body camera policy.
Yeah. Okay, and what citizen was he in contact with at that time?
Sir?
What citizen was he in contact with when your car was recovered?
Well, there was 2 or 3 neighbors that were outside talking to him. So, and he was recovering my car. That's not. It doesn't have to just be a citizen. It says in the policy, and I can't quote word for word until but it said whenever you're doing anything that has any importance, basically. Like if you recover a car, I would imagine that would happen.
It really not.
Really?
It's a piece of property. It's really, in the whole scheme of things, it's really not that important. It's just a piece of property. And it's being recovered. Nobody's being hurt or nothing like that.
Yeah, I got hurt bad. I mean, not physically, but
Exactly. That's what
it put me way behind my.
Hey, I've been put behind too.
Yeah.
We take that and we move on. But the thing is, yours, there was no reason at that time for him to be running a body camera. There was nothing going on that needed to be recorded.
Well,
I mean, we've already established that he did recover your car.
no, he Ackerman recovered.
Okay, well,
He didn't do anything. He didn't make any notes. He didn't.
What do you feel like the body camera would have revealed?
Well, the damage for one thing. If he walked around, we're showing the damage to the car.
You realize that's the job of the insurance company to worry about that. They got investigators there. We don't investigate that.
Yeah. Well, my insurance didn't cover it. It was liability.
That's why. If you'd had full coverage, who's that on?
But it doesn't make it my fault that the car got wrecked.
No, it doesn't. But it makes it your fault that they didn't cover the damages.
No, yeah. I mean, I understand but it doesn't make it. Antonio Cook should be the one paying for it, not me. But he's in jail for 15 years.
Is he in jail for stealing your car?
No.
Okay then. How you know he should be the one paying for it?
Because he's the one that wrecked my car. I saw him wreck it.
You saw him wreck it?
Yeah.
What was he doing with it?
He stole it.
Well, from what I see, there's not really a whole lot of evidence that points in that direction.
What are you talking about?
The car theft case.
There was plenty of evidence in the car.
As far as what you see, as far as what was.
There was a cell phone, there was a bunch of stuff. There was a pocketbook, there was his social security number was in my car, with the envelopes, there was all kinds of fingerprints.
Okay.
I mean.
There was other things involved.
What's that?
If I recall, it was, at some point, I think it's someone you knew. When your car gets stolen, usually it's.
I've looked the law up extensively.
That's okay, but.
I have.
You know this guy, right?
I knew him.
Yeah.
I don't know him that well, and I sure didn't give him permission to take the car, and I sure didn't think he was gonna take it. I've looked the law up, and
Yes.
and I'm not in the wrong.
Right.
I promise you. I mean,
yeah. So.
you know, I talked to Country Collins about this,
Yeah, that's good.
and he asked me, he says, yeah, this is back in January, on like 25th or so of January and 24th, and I met with him about 45 minutes, I think it's 46 minutes, with him and Captain Ammons in his office.
Mm-hmm.
And I explained to him, I had several issues, mainly about the car, and he said, well, I'll have to check with Rickard and find out why he didn't take warrants out for these two people. He didn't say anything about, anything like, we don't think you had your car stolen, or, anyway, he was supposed to check with him and check with Enzar to find out why they hadn't done anything about the car. There hadn't been an arrest. And I put their names on the report. I told Krabby and Rickard both who stole it. I don't understand. From what I understand on Georgia code.
Yeah, have you pulled that report?
Yeah, I've got it.
What did it say?
Which one? The one where Rickard, Enzar, what he wrote on the bottom of the report?
Well, the whole thing, what did the reports, all of them say, that the reason why you're.
They didn't. They didn't. There's nothing. That's why I kept,
What did it say? It said, I responded to such and such for, this date and other, and I met with so-and-so, and his car was stolen, or was missing. That was it. That was it? It didn't say anything else?
No, Rickard had put his part down, and then Enzar, I don't think he put his part down until later, like way later, because I got the original report, and it didn't have what Enzar put on it. I don't know when Enzar put it down, but he basically just said, you recovered the car, called Ackerman, and that's about it. There was no notes about any damage, or notes about any evidence.
And this was what, 5 years ago?
No, it was 2.5 years ago. And it'll be 3 years in April. April the 4th is when it got stolen. April 20th, or the 7th is when it got recovered. And then Enzar turned around. See, right in this whole mix, man, it's crazy. But the 4th, my car got stolen. The 7th, Enzar recovered it. On the 10th, I'd have to look to see exactly, but my neighbor called the 911 emergency number and says there's a guy parked in his car lot.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the same building with him.
Right, you were letting air out of tires, I remember that.
Yeah, so.
But why were you doing that?
What's that?
Why were you doing that?
Why are we doing this?
Why were you doing that?
Doing what?
Letting air out of tires.
Oh, because this is what I say. Because my neighbor called and said that there was a car parked in his car lot, and he wants me to move it. Okay. And he called, and y'all sent Enzar out, and Enzar got there, knocked on my door, and said, "You can't park there." And I said, "You can't tell me where to park. This is private property." And he grabbed the handcuffs off the door and started arresting, saying he's gonna arrest him. Man, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to make a living like he is. This is private property. This is a civil issue. It's not a criminal issue.
I agree, and we talked about that.
And that's an issue. It's a real issue. I don't know why. Because the other issue, well, I don't need to skip around, but who codes those things at even 911 when they send them out?
Yeah, whoever's on the.
Well,
on the
one I looked at, Bailey I forget her last, she was a stripper at the Gold Club out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hired some good ones, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, I ain't got a problem with strippers. I like
I do.
strippers. I like strippers.
Yeah.
And I like you, Horne. I don't mean to, I really do. And I just talked to, what's his name? Shit, I can't think of his name. I'm just trying to think of too many things at once. But, I just talked to the other guy that I said, y'all are good down at 3rd Street. And he said I need to come talk to you.
Yeah, of course it is. He didn't want to do it.
Well, not only that, he thinks you're a good guy. He spoke highly of you.
That's good.
Sean Bridger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't think of his name. So what I'm getting at is, you know, they miscoded that when they sent him out in the first place.
Right.
Enzor probably didn't, he came off half-cocked, he didn't know what he was dealing with, and they just said it was a suspicious car. But it wasn't a suspicious car. I got the call where my neighbor called in, and he said, yeah, you know, you have to listen to it, but he basically says it's his car lot, which it ain't his car lot. The building is owned by Alfie Spears. He owns the whole building. He should have talked to Alfie and said, look, Todd's parking back here at the back. Alfie never told me I couldn't park.
The guy would call, what was the nature of his being there? Is he a manager of the car lot?
He has a car lot. But the other thing is, his name's Quanter Enzor.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If I decide that I'm gonna open a car lot in this building right here,
Yeah.
then this building and the curtilage becomes my charge. And
Yeah.
if you wanna park your car there, I'll call Ashman and have it hauled off.
Yeah, but if I'm renting this building right next door, and this is my door, and this is my entrance and leaving, escrow, whatever the hell you call it, whatever you call it, coming and going, and you park your truck 2 feet from my back door
It depends on where the line is.
for 8 days,
Depends on where the line is.
yeah, the line, I
It'd be too hard.
need to get into the planning and zoning and find out what line is, because if I've got a back door, I've got access to go up in and out my back door, and when he parks his truck there, he's in the wrong.
Yeah.
And I called y'all and said, look, don't get Enzor involved, but I need some help. And they got Enzor involved. And every time, I don't know what his problem is, but he automatically, he just didn't like me from the start. And, yeah, I'm
Well, I can see why.
I can too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all like oil and water. Y'all always, and that's the bad thing about Enzor is, if you don't do anything that's gonna cause him to appear, there's probably very low probability y'all ever interact again.
I hope not.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, just trying to be, you know, a little nicer to everybody. I mean, sometimes
I'm nice to nice people, and you're nice, Horne. I don't mean to be,
But being police, you know, I got this authority and all that, but a lot of times I just walk away. I just walk away because it's easy. Life is easier that way.
yeah, I do
And
too.
I think that's something you need to work on.
No, I have.
I've noticed you have.
I have, because I don't want trouble.
Right.
But, yeah. When Enzor came that day, he didn't have a body camera either. And he's telling me you can't park there. And I said, this is private property, you can't tell me where to park. And I wanted that body camera footage, but they ain't got it.
Yeah.
Same thing as with recovery of the car. He ain't got it.
Yeah.
It seems like there's another time when he didn't wear his body camera. And, you know, when I look up, I got Collins's personnel file. He didn't wear his body camera one time, or one of his subordinates didn't wear his body, and he got put off for 2 days. And then, you know, this kind of thing. And that's what needs to happen. I'm not expecting.
It can happen.
It needs to happen because I'm the one footing the bill for all this. And
Yeah.
I didn't ask for my car to get stolen.
No, but there might have been some underlying factors that could have played into that as well. Because I remember, because I read the report, there was something else to it.
Not really. I mean, the whole point is, I didn't tell them they could borrow my car.
Right, but it wasn't really, it wasn't like somebody just out of the blue came and took the car. There was more to it.
No, he was sitting in my car listening to the radio. I had to let him sit there and listen to the
Yeah,
radio.
don't do that.
Well, it doesn't mean that I told you he could.
I know it doesn't. Well, we're splitting hairs there.
No, we're not splitting hairs, because, I mean, if there was a judge that was a fair judge, they would say, look, he didn't ever tell them they could borrow the car. They drove his car, they took it, they wouldn't bring it back.
Okay, if we took all these cases that are just like that before the grand jury, nobody ever get arrested, well, they wouldn't have time. But, you know, as officers, sometimes you have to look at stuff and say, yeah, we take that, it's probably not going anywhere, so just leave it alone. And
Well,
can that be made an error? Yes, it can.
Can it be also made because you're related to the girl that stole the car? Through your wife?
Yeah, you
It could happen that way too, couldn't it?
Mhm.
Because that's what happened. Mabel Curry,
No,
that's her great grandma.
That's
Her great grandma.
But once again, we're getting into a gray area where you don't know that's why it happened. And,
I looked it up. I know that they're.
okay, I'm related to people too, but that doesn't mean that the law goes, undone because I'm related to them.
Well, why would I have to pay Ackerman $350 to get the
Same
car?
reason everybody else does, and they complain about it, and when I was over there with Bridger, I used to tell people, I hate it for you because I feel like you're being victimized.
Yeah.
But, that's the policy.
It's not a policy. The Georgia code says you are not supposed to pay a dime unless you let it sit there for 3
They go to
days.
small claims court and sue Bill County for making you pay. That's the way you get the ball rolling.
That's what I'm getting to. I mean, I got to.
Yeah.
Because, what ended up happening is I was trying to get this, I was trying to redress my grievances
Right.
with you guys. I'm not threatening y'all. I'm not.
I didn't feel that.
Yeah, but I went and met with, I went over to Collins' head. After January, he told me, get back with him in a couple of days and he'd find out what it was. So I called him back.
That was a good trick too, because you know where Collins is?
He retired. Same thing with Rachel. That's why I'm down here, because I thought maybe there's some new blood in here and we might get something done. Sean Bridger said, because I was wanting him to look at my CAD reports and help me decipher them. And he told me I couldn't just go by the E911 center and ask somebody there to help me. So I was hoping you might be able to help me. Over the next little while, I promise I'll be calm and cool about my emails. I need some help, man. Collins didn't answer his phone. I called him 6 times. I called Ammons 6 times. Nobody answered his phone.
Have you been keeping up with how many law enforcement officers we have?
A bunch.
Well, where are they? Because really on our payroll, we don't have but just a few. When I was on patrol 15 years ago, I was over here at 4th District, which is the old mall there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 7 of us on patrol, 1 sergeant, that makes 8, and then we have 7 more on a focus unit, that's 15.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, we don't have that many people, so.
Well, I understand it's understaffed, and I understand, I'm not trying to cause problems, I promise you. What I was trying to do is, find out, I've looked these laws up, I've done a lot of spending time looking these laws up and trying to find out. And I'm pretty sure, I shouldn't be the one fitting the bill. If I had just filed, I didn't realize I could just file a civil suit against the guy. Sure. I guess that's what I have to do. I think I got 3 years, so April will be 3 years. That's what Collins said to begin with. He said we could still arrest him because we had a year left. But he never did do anything, and after we talked to Enzar, I don't know what happened. But I talked to the DA's office about it, and they said, well, because what happened, I don't know if you know the whole story, but I saw him in my car on the 7th of April, 3 days after they stole it. They were coming off of Rogers Avenue on the bound. And I tried to block them in. I was driving that car right there, my mama's SUV, Land Cruiser. And I tried to stop right there, and they skirted around me and went up, took a left on Pierce. I was climbing on them, down in Nature. And I was following him. I wasn't chasing him, I was just following him. And he's an inexperienced driver, he's only 20 years old, and there's 3 other people in the car. There's a lot of weight in a Honda. And he's trying to take a right back over Hillcrest, and he ain't gonna make it. He came into the telephone pole. Broke it in half. Anyway.
Now, if you present that to a jury,
Mm-hmm.
say I was on the jury, they'd have to be mighty damn dumb to sit there and think, he said he wasn't chasing him, but the only reason that guy would do that maneuver and then wreck is because he's been chased. So
because he stole the car.
But regardless, you just told me, I wasn't chasing him, I just thought, no, you were chasing him.
Well,
And that's why it happened.
Yeah.
You did have a part to play in the damage of that car. What was the right thing to do? You saw the car with him in it, what was the right thing to do?
To be patient and let the Benton County Sheriff's Department find it.
The right thing to do. Hey, my stolen car is located
I
here.
did that the night before, and they said, I said it's in the parking lot at the hotel on Harrison Road. It's got a white Honda with a spoiler on it. They sent somebody out there and they didn't do nothing. This is before the flock cameras, man. It was my Honda.
Well, when they got there, was the car there?
Yeah.
And they just said, no.
I don't know what they did,
Then how do you know they didn't do
but I
anything?
got a camera for it.
Okay, so they evidently, they called in on CAD, they said, yes, the stolen vehicle is here.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna let it go. Is that what it said?
They didn't do anything about it. I'm telling you, man, I'm not crazy, and I'm not expecting y'all to be Superman and, you know, do everything right.
I know, but, you know, we've got a good track record going right now, of after a couple of years, you know, other than your thing.
Things are picking up,
with
I'm
cars,
glad.
you haven't had any problems. And I think that's more based on your behavior than it is ours.
Well, I've been trying to stay out of any light whatsoever, but,
I know.
you know, this all started. I don't want to go back to it all, because I'm so tired of talking about it.
Don't let it go.
No, it's not okay, man.
Get all this off corner of your mouth.
I'm in drunk, need something to drink.
But what's all that beer stuff?
What I'm getting at, I tried to talk to Colin, he wouldn't answer. So I went 30 days after I met with him in his office. I walked back in there and I said, you know, hey, you know, he said, what can I do for you? I said, well, you could answer your phone, that'd be nice. You know, he ain't answer his phone, it's full, he can't get through. So I drive over down here and talk to him. And I don't mind if, you know, but Colin's just, he ends up telling me, you know, anyway, he tells me to get my ass out of his office, sport. He said, you'll be talking to Major Rachel from jail. That's what he said I got it recorded. So I let it simmer down. I called and talked to Chief Deputy Scarborough, sent a couple of emails, said, can I please meet with you, at your convenience. So I finally got an appointment Monday, June the 24th, to meet with Scarborough. I got upstairs in his office, and Collins was there. I'm thinking, I told Scarborough, I said, look, the last time I met him, he told me to get my ass out of his office. And Collins confirmed, and Scarborough kind of chuckled. And I went on to explain my story, and you know, Chief Deputy Scarborough said, well, you seem like a pretty good guy, you know, he's going to look into it and find out. I asked him to either take out warrants to arrest the people that stole my car, so I can get some kind of big, you know, get something, the damages out of it. It was $6,700 in damages, and my insurance didn't pay for it. So I asked him.
I think that's the big thing is the money. What has to be present before a warrant can be had?
You tell me.
Okay, well, I thought you looked through all of it. Actually, it's probable cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and probable cause in that case was not established.
I'm glad you brought that up, probable cause, because after I talked with him in his office, Collins tells me in that meeting, he says that Rickard, the guy that wrote the original report, had talked to Antonio Cook, and Cook said that I told Cook he could borrow my car. I never said that. So Thursday, after my Monday meeting on June the 24th, on 27th, I go by. I found out, I called ahead and asked, was Rickard working? I wanted to ask him a question. So I get to the next Avenue precinct, expecting him to be there, answering the phone like they told me he was going to be, and he's not there. So I called the non-emergency number and asked them, please ask Rickard to meet me at the next Avenue precinct. Get my information and all that. So he comes, and I didn't know it at the time, but Collins got wind of my call, and he ordered Rickard to arrest me for attempted extortion on the Denton County Sheriff. So, where's the probable cause there?
The fact that you told him that you would take so much in cash to just drop this illegal loan.
I never said that. I didn't. I ordered that camera. He didn't finally came that camera. I don't know if he was supposed to do that when I'm in the office talking to. I thought they were recording.
It'd be like now.
Collins recorded the whole meeting with him the first time, so I'm pretty sure he recorded it.
You know
but
what?
they said that he had.
Yeah, and I understand your frustration. I'm trying to get you to understand some things. You know where all the body camera footage goes? Into a massive database. I say it's massive, and that's with the footage that we just had. If we was to record everything, we wouldn't be able to afford the storage.
Yeah.
So, you know, we don't record every waking daylight hour of everybody's doing. That would be insane.
Well, it seems like to me
Now,
that it's convenient that it happens at just the right time.
Here's a good thing. You can buy a body camera.
Yeah,
You
I'm
will
gonna have
have
to,
one.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, anyway.
I don't know if you had anything to do with, and I shouldn't even get on a tangent, but, and she's a little crazy, but I've got a cousin named Dana, Joyner, that, in 2019, Warby answered a call to make it in. 5 hours after, the original officer showed up. He showed up at 5 a.m., it was still dark on the body camera, and, Warby didn't have his body camera on, and beat the shit out of my cousin Dana after she tried to shut the door on the hotel room. And she got, I mean, I don't really like Dana because she is a little obnoxious, but he beat the shit out of her like 15 times, punched her in the face. Said that she tried to gouge his eye out. There wasn't any body camera footage. You know, in my opinion, after reading all the policies and stuff on body cameras, you know, she should have had the benefit of the doubt if he hadn't got the body camera on, and he beat the shit out of her like that. But she went to jail for 5 years. And I don't know if it did her any good or not.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Here's another thing.
The body cameras, I mean, they're not, they should be on,
And that is our policy, but once again, they are, you know, we are a government agency, and we don't say who's got the best body camera. We want one like the Navy SEALs where it'll survive an explosion and still keep going.
Right.
That one's like $10,000. No, what you got for about $250?
Yeah.
Right?
No,
Okay, we'll take
I get
that
it.
one.
I get it.
Okay, so they don't function all the time. And how would you feel if you had an issue, maybe some of your kinfolks are getting beat up or whatnot, and you call, and the officer gets out and he's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, well, I ain't gonna do
Yeah,
this one.
no, I understand.
Yeah. So that sort of thing. Sometimes they've got to go without them.
Yeah, I understand that.
And here's the whole thing. The bottom line with you, I feel like, is you want the money. But I think you had that because you said it, or at least you.
Well, I'm not asking the sheriff's department.
I know you're not.
I'm not trying to extort money from the sheriff's department. I was trying to get the sheriff's department to do what I understood to be their job, to take warrants out, because they did have probable cause. I saw them take it. I saw them wreck it. I mean, what else probable cause?
But who's? Okay, once again, I told you we try not to tie up the court system. So, let's say I'm going to steal your car. Okay? Now, I'm sitting there in a few minutes and I'm playing the radio, and then I just take off and leave with it. Now, you didn't tell me I could, but then, here comes the officer, and they talk to me, they say, well, Faircloth said you took his car. No, he loaned it to me, he told me I could have it.
They never talked to him.
Wait a minute, this is hypothetical.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said, well, he said I could use it. Oh, okay. And then they go talk to you, and you say, oh, he stole it. Okay, where do we go from there?
Yeah, it's a ping pong.
It's he said, she said, and it goes nowhere in court. Why tie up the court with that?
What's so hard to believe? I mean, I'm not lying.
Why do we have to believe you and not him?
You didn't even ask him.
I'm sure he was asked.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure he was asked.
No,
I read that a while back.
No, he didn't, Rick, I asked Rickard.
Okay, let's go ahead and wait, stop.
No, listen to me, please.
Okay.
Just wait.
Then
That's the whole point was when Rickard arrested me on June the 27th, after Collins ordered me to, which is, what do you call it? Anyway, it's illegal for, you to follow an order that you know is wrong.
Right.
But, I was riding in the back seat, I got the body camera footage of it, and I asked Rickard, I said, look, after I had asked him a few things, I was telling him, I'm not trying to extort anything, and then I said, look, would you please answer me one question, it's the question I came to talk to you about. Did you ever talk to Antonio Cook about my car? He said, no.
No.
He didn't.
Then let's back up to where I was going to tell you. That's fine. Now, what if I was to go as a law enforcement officer and go talk to him right now? Now, we've already got your word saying he took it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I go and ask him, did you steal Mr. Faircloth's car?
He's going to say no.
He's going to say no that day too.
Sure, anybody's going to say no, I didn't steal the car.
Exactly.
But you're going to take that word over to mine?
Yeah.
I mean, the evidence is that he wrecked it into a telephone pole.
There is no proof that you told him that, and there's no proof that you didn't. I mean, you know?
Yeah. Well,
So which way are we gonna err? If I said, Mr. Faircloth came in here and threatened to kill me, and you said, no, I didn't, now if we go to court with it, cause I can say it right now today.
Yeah, please
Which
don't.
way do you want it to go? Do you want them to say, look, that's his word against yours, and there's no recording, there's no nothing, so what are we gonna do? Are we gonna arrest you? No.
right.
No, we're not. It's the same thing. But what I think
Well,
you
no,
need
they
to do.
didn't. And
Exactly, now you
no, they
see.
did, though. Richard
He arrested you, that was something totally different. He
Well,
arrested you for stealing your car.
It was because I was trying to push the issue to get something.
But you see,
done.
why you shouldn't have pushed the issue.
Well, I have
You
the
didn't
right.
come talk to me. You
United
should've
States
just left it
citizen
alone.
to redress my grievance.
Okay, well, if your grievance is, the fact that nothing was done because your car was stolen.
According to Georgia code, there was a lot of things that he was supposed to do, and one of them was to notify me. And he said he notified me in person. He never notified me. He
His
didn't.
word against yours again, here we go.
How did he notify me? I didn't get any notification. He says in person, he never saw me until the 10th. I mean, whenever it was the coroner called about that, that's the first time I met Enzor, was when he told me I can't park. The same car that he recovered, can't park it there. How come he didn't say, hey man, I recovered your car the other day? That's the first time I ever met Enzor.
But you told me that it was parked somewhere and you knew it.
Yeah, I parked it
Well,
on my back
you knew it
door.
was recovered.
Well, I called Ackerman and found out. Nobody told me. Nobody called me. It's his responsibility to call me. It's what Georgia code says.
Okay,
I
well,
ain't gonna get the governor, I ain't gonna do shit
wait
for
a
me.
minute. I bet the Georgia code did not say it is Enzor's responsibility. It
He said
said,
it's the recovering officer's responsibility to notify.
Okay.
If they don't do that, it's grounds for termination.
well, the way it works here is the recovering officer is gonna be a deputy on the road. It will have been assigned to an investigator because of stolen car. Now, that stat 5, which is report, will go through 17 different phases before it gets over there to the guy who says, oh, this is assigned to me. All right. And they make a call, and usually once they call, they're like, because I used to be in that. That's what I worked, so it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll make the call, I said, Mr. Faircloth, you called, Ackman's already told me, because Ackman wants their money.
Yeah.
So they get ahead of the
That's the other
investigator.
thing in that Georgia code that y'all aren't following. I mean, I'm not
There's
there trying to.
grounds for a suit there if that's the case.
It is,
Okay.
yeah.
So, just,
Maybe
all this
I'm-
other stuff, you need to go after your, civil part of it.
I am, well, I'm going after the 42 USC,
Okay.
1983, against Collins, because he didn't have any probable cause to arrest me for extortion. I sat here in the big county jail, well, for one thing, in the holding cell, for about 6.5 hours without any water, food, or phone calls. I beat on the window to try and get water, and they tased me as soon as they pulled me out. They tased me. I mean, I'm inside the jail, man. I'm not threatening anybody. I don't have any weapons. I don't have any, there's two of them hold my arms, and they're gonna manhandle me and then tase me? I didn't do anything. I didn't. All I did was beat on the damn window because I needed some water.
Well,
I pissed them off.
that's another issue,
Well, and the last issue is, the biggest issue is I sat at B200 for 78 days.
I bet that was fun.
Yeah, with 20-year-old black guys. There wasn't nobody near my age, and wasn't nobody my race. Now that, I get along with black folks, I got a lot of black friends, but when you're in B200 with 20-year-old black guys that are, the ratio tells me that 4 of those guys are in there for murder.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Well, the terrible thing is that, it is an older jail, and
And the locks don't work, and we blame it on the people, we tell them it's a suicide. We just put it as a suicide, and it was hanging from a bed sheet from the figurehead. Y'all don't put out bed sheets. Y'all put out blankets, and those blankets won't tie in a knot. How the hell are you gonna hang yourself with a blanket don't tie itself in a knot?
I have no idea.
You don't. Those are cover-ups, man. I wonder how many deaths have happened because of those damn locks. I've been in that predicament myself, twice. The one time Enzor arrested me, I was back there, they shouldn't even put me in the back. I bonded out. But I sat in the back for 3 hours while my brother was sitting in the parking lot waiting on me. They should have let me bond out, that's what they should have done, and known that I wasn't gonna be there very long. I told them that. But they put me in the back, and I'm back there, and they beat the shit out of the guy that came in with me. I mean, like, 5 of them beat him up. I had gone in there, they said, you're in room 102, or cell 102, and there's a guy in 102. So I go walking down the aisle, trying to find another, and they're all taken, and the doors are wide open. I'm sitting in there this is 2 years ago now, but they beat the shit out of the guy, and I'm thinking, what are they beating him up for? I didn't know why. I had no idea. I thought I was next. So I'm in the camera going, help, and ain't nobody listening. You know? So I'm in there, and this guy comes up, he says, I want a bedroll. I might need my bedroll, man. I'm getting out of here in about an hour. Can we just get you? No, I want it now. I need my bedroll. He says, I want your socks. Really, man? It's cold in here. I don't need my. Nope, I want your socks. I need my socks. He said, I want your jumpsuit. I said, man, are you kidding me? What am I going to do? I guess 20 guys, just beat the shit out of me. I give my jumpsuit and took his sweaty ass jumpsuit. I ain't been washed in 3 months. I didn't get my jumpsuit washed the whole 78 days I was in there. I didn't get 4 showers. 4 showers, Horne. 4. I was in there, I didn't even get out of the cell for like 20 days at a time. I sat there in the cell, didn't open the door for 20 days at a time. It's inhumane. Two meals a day. It's not enough to feed you. You stay hungry. My mom, I'm giving her $500 a week just to be able to get some food off the commissary, and that's where the money's coming from. Y'all are getting crazy money for honey buns and 22-cent phone calls, and it's paying for all these locks. For the guy that runs the crime fighter, he's the same guy that put locks on there for $15,000 a lock. It's $15,000 a lock, Horne.
Well,
15, and I know those locks intimately, and those locks, if they're more than $1,500, I'd be surprised. That's not what it is. That's not what. I'm not a lock expert.
Well, you get into some stuff we haven't discussed, and I'm not at liberty to discuss with you, and you know that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to, but it makes me so mad, man. I'm not trying to say I'm right all the time, but I feel like I've got some points here that
You do, but I'm trying to show you where you're misfiring. You're not throwing your problems into the right arena.
Well, tell me, when I read your report of the whole thing with Enzor, that first time where you put handcuffs on my wrist, how much? If there's nobody resisting, if you're arresting somebody and they're not resisting, they're complying, how much force are you supposed to use?
Whatever's necessary.
It wasn't necessary.
Says you.
I gave him my arm. I gave him my hand. And he just started down there and started squeezing. I'm like, man, why are you doing that? I wasn't playing. I wasn't trying to be dramatic. I was like, man, please. I was crying. I really was crying. It was hurting. And you could, if you watch the video close, you could see where I'm asking him to, and he squeezed them some more. He did that on purpose. And he also pumped the brakes and the gas all the way down here.
I don't have proof of that.
Well, isn't that convenient?
I'm just saying, it's not on me. I just can't. It's not there.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You see, I put everything I had out there, but I didn't have that. So, and once again,
I'll look back at it and maybe send you an email to try and highlight it. But
well,
I don't want to split hairs, man. I just want something. I just want to feel like I'm being heard, and I want a little justice. I'm not expecting everything to go my way.
Well, you see, I kind of explained to you why we can't arrest Mr. whoever was up in possession of your car.
Yeah, Antonio Cook.
Yeah, and I think you understood that.
Well, I don't, because what I read from the Georgia Code is if there's more than one occasion where he stole another car, and there was 2 months later, that's pretty much showing you this probable cause to arrest him for my car. There it is, man. You can, try and cover your bases all you want, but I didn't tell him he could steal my car. I never told him he could drive my car. I never told him they could take my car. I knew him, but I didn't.
I thought we spoke about, you know, if we were to go to the jury. You're a smart man. And the jury's gonna hear the sides, and it's basically that you told him, you know, that he could sit in the car listening to the radio.
Yeah.
And he's saying that you told him that you could take
He
it.
didn't even say that, because,
Well, if we go ask him today, I'm sure he's gonna say
well,
that.
he would say, yeah.
I'll bet you money, let's go
Oh, I'm
find
sure
him.
anybody would.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody would.
So that's what he's gonna say. And so the jury's gonna look at it, and what's it gonna be?
Yeah, but when you got evidence that he's in jail now because of another car that he stole and wrecked 2 months later, and, you know, he's got guns, and you know, I mean, he did it. Well, what? I don't know, you know, I didn't mean to come down here and tie you up and waste your day. I was trying to get.
No, if I could, you know, help you to understand what's going on, it's not a waste of the day.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell me why, when I called in the first place to the non-emergency number and asked them to send somebody out to take a report for stealing my car, why they were tagged it as a domestic something, not a dispute, it was domestic. They tagged it as domestic.
I think it was a civil dispute.
No, that was for the parking. That should have been a civil dispute, and Enzar should have never got involved. It was a civil situation.
Okay.
He should have never got involved.
Now-
But he told my neighbor that he could park his truck by my back door, which was wrong.
Depending on your words, what you told when you called, it could be misconstrued, or it could simply be a wrong entry. One number off could put it into that. That's the only thing.
And if it's a mistake, then great, but I think it's because y'all have too many damn cars. Where's the number 50 in the whole country? Macon, Georgia, number 50. Out of Atlanta, New York, everywhere,
One mile.
for car theft.
1 mile.
We got a bunch of car thieves.
And what else?
People leaving the keys in the car.
Well, I've seen that. I've actually seen them. I've gone up there and, you know, getting out at the gas station, and one pulls up in a nice car, gets out with the motor running, the windows down. I was like, man, your car's running. I don't know. Well, somebody wants to steal it. I don't care. I got full coverage.
Well, if they got full coverage, that's great, but you know.
That's what we're doing.
But the thing is, I've read plenty of articles in the Macon Telegraph where there's somebody at the gas station on Forsyth Road, a friend of theirs pulled up while he ran in the store, and he took his car.
Yep.
And he didn't tell him he could drive it, but y'all arrested him that day.
Didn't have them.
That should have been what happened with mine. But I called y'all the night before I tried to make the citizens arrest, and told y'all where it was, and then Harrison Road, or Chambers Road, and nothing happened. So when I see them the next day, you know, I didn't understand the whole citizens arrest had changed in 2022, that the governor had changed it.
I'm all over change.
Yeah, because of him, and I understand that, and that's great. I would never want, you know, a bunch of white guys to arrest a black guy and lynch him. That's terrible, you know, but this is reverse. I've got a black guy lynching me. I mean, really. And I saw it happen. I mean, he didn't have a gun in my face, but he had a gun, and he took the car, and it was I mean, as far as I can tell, I should fall into the citizen's arrest category of a legal citizen's arrest. I had a business, it was my business. If you have to, you know, look at, you know, each category, I qualify for a citizen's arrest. And if Enzar had a problem, that he got there, what happened is, I had a headlock in the front yard of that yard where they cut my car. And the neighbors the neighbors didn't say what all happened, because they just told their little part of it. There's a white guy that pulls up in a white pickup truck. I wish his name would have been on the report. I didn't know they even had somebody's name as a witness. But the white guy in a white pickup truck gets out and he says, "Y'all better break it up. I got my gun on y'all." So I let San Antonio go, and I'm not going to stick around with some guy with a crazy guy with a gun. So I left. And Enzar gets there and says that the citizen told him you know, what happened is I didn't want to wait around and be involved with the police. And that's not why I didn't stay around. I didn't stay around because the crazy guy with a gun pointed at me.
Okay, did we get a 911 call, say, hey, there's a crazy guy with a gun pointing? Did we?
No, but
Okay, there's a problem there. Some of this stuff is actually because you make some dumb decisions sometimes.
well, I'm not,
You're doing a lot better now.
why is it that some citizen that just shows up in a white pickup truck with a gun has more power over my car being stolen than I do?
Because of the stupid things that you did or did not do.
What did I do or did not do?
Like I just said.
I didn't call 911 about a guy pointing a gun at me.
Exactly. So his story sounds more plausible than yours. It's what a reasonable person would think. And sometimes you ain't thinking reasonable.
I'm pretty reasonable,
And
man.
you are, but you like to think outside the box.
I mean, a little bit to try and understand the whole situation, but I'm not trying to push something through that's outside the box.
Okay, well, I just explained to you why they took his word over yours.
Because I wasn't there.
You wasn't there. And had that happen, and you said, hey, there's a guy with a gun, I'm trying to get my car back, you know, this all happened just now, and now your story is plausible. But you made a dumb decision.
I reached out. I mean, I did. I tried to talk with Chris Patterson.
Yeah, but you left.
What?
You had left.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't leave and then, because it looks like they gave you time to think, okay, what can I tell them? Whereas if it just flows, and it didn't.
Well, I mean, I was trying to hold Antonio until the cops got there.
Right.
I wasn't trying to, just beat him up.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have a baseball bat. I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was trying to hold him until he got there. And anyway, I mean, I hear you, but when you put the whole story together and look at the whole thing, I mean, I'm not lying.
I never thought you were. I'm just telling you how some of the decisions and some of the things that they said and you said has put you in this predicament, and it's not because you're lying, it's because the law looks at things a little bit different than you would like them to. Let me tell you this, I had my house broken into. I live in Monroe County. And I was remodeling a house. They used my own tools to bust the door down and cut everything up, and then they stole all my tools and all that. And so, Monroe County comes out and they did their thing, and then they left. I was like, I don't see any fingerprints up.
What?
No fingerprints up. I'm like, the tools they used are laying right here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Monroe County said, well, that's tough. We just, my deputies know what they're doing, and if they thought that they could have got some prints off that stuff, they would have. Okay. So, I never got my tools back or nothing like that. I didn't have insurance, and it's a loss, but there's nothing I can do.
Was it $6,700 was lost?
Huh?
Was it $6,700 was lost?
No, but it's probably half of that.
And you're probably making a good $80,000 a year, aren't you?
You got some good tools.
Well, I'm just guessing.
If that was the case, you would have so many
65.
deputies around here, you'd have some good deputies around here, you couldn't run off.
Yeah. You making, I'm just saying,
Not 68.
even if you were making 30, you're making
I make
more than I am.
I've been here for so many years, almost 20, and I make the same thing that the guys coming on today make.
Really?
Not a penny more.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. So there's that.
Well, you work way more than that.
Yeah, but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, what I was trying to say is, that was everything I had, man. I paid $400 payment for that thing.
But I still you want to get it back, or have at least try. Because, I think had you gone that route right then, it would have been a better chance to get it
Well,
back.
I did by talking to Chris Patterson.
No,
Chris Patterson ain't the right one to
You
talk
were trying to
to.
get us to get it back for you. And the thing to do is, that bird is flown. Nobody's going to prosecute this guy for that theft because of the things you told me. I wouldn't prosecute him, or I wouldn't arrest him.
Why?
What would you say?
You said I was chasing him, but I wasn't chasing him.
What?
What's
the reason a person gonna say you were
the
doing
keys in the car.
What is the reason a person gonna say you did?
I guess, yeah, I was following him. I was trying, but I wasn't like trying to run him into a telephone pole.
He was running from you.
He was, but I wasn't.
Anyway, that's gone.
Yeah.
But what you can do is do your civil suit. Try to get your money.
Yeah.
So, I've explained to you why.
I will do that, but I'm still, I think, I wish that you would, I wish that, I really do feel strongly the Enzor mistreated me. And I didn't,
Right.
All right, how you doing?
pretty good.
And you know, years ago, in my juvenile days, I was not the perfect citizen myself. I have been arrested a few times, and I will tell you, not the first time was it ever pleasant.
No, I don't expect it to be pleasant. I don't expect it to be pleasant,
Right.
but, you know, I've been arrested too, like several times. And I haven't ever had anybody squeeze the handcuffs on my wrist. Not for 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes is what it was on the body camera. I've had, Jeffrey Johnson's arrested me. I didn't resist. I just, and that's, you know.
You realize there's two different kinds of resistance. You've got active resistance, which is the one you're thinking about. What's the other one? Passive.
And
You can resist without, fighting anybody or anything like that.
I didn't. You can tell from the video camera, I was sitting there and I raised my hand.
Yeah.
How am I resisting?
You still doing all this and
No, I
you're
didn't.
moving?
I'm trying to explain to him. I mean, if you really were the judge and jury and you listened to the whole story, Horne didn't have any right. He didn't have the right to park his car like he did. After Enzor came and told me I couldn't park. It was off to begin with. The whole thing was just off. If Enzor had come to the place and said, look, you're renting this place too? Well, then y'all need to talk to the landlord. That's what he should have done, in my opinion. And I'm pretty sure that's what policy would expect it to be.
Had you not let the air out of the tires, it probably would have been that way.
My truck needed to wasn't. I called and asked y'all to come out there about the truck being there. And Enzor didn't do anything about it. Enzor got a hold of the call and didn't do anything about it. Same thing as when I called.
Well, you told me earlier that because it's private property, it wasn't his job doing anything. And now you're telling me it is.
But he did do something. He told he told me I couldn't park there, and told my neighbor who has trafficking cocaine on his, he got busted in 2003 for trafficking cocaine. In 2000, he got some criminal stuff. Some serious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close to what. I'm not.
Well, you realize that you can't hold somebody's past against them.
I understand, but if he can look into the thing. He don't have the right business license to be selling cars. He ain't even zoned for a car dealership. I was renting the building. You know how the law goes. You're renting a building and you got a door to the back door, and somebody parks the car 2 feet in front of your back door. That's a problem. And he didn't have any right to do that. I don't think I'm really getting anywhere.
But really, thinking back on it, and now that you've learned a little bit more and you've kind of the proper way to have handled that issue at that point was what?
I don't know, really. Coming here.
Don't involve the law.
Sure.
Don't involve the law. It's a civil matter.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And you
trying
get with your landlord and say, hey, this has become a problem.
Yeah, I did do that after the fact.
But it was after the fact.
It was too late, yeah.
See,
I didn't call, I didn't know what was happening in the first place.
Don't get something involved that doesn't need to be. And I think that was where, a lot of this came from.
No, he got him involved. Horne called and said I was parked in his car lot. And I was parked on my space that I was renting. And Enzor comes out there and tells me I got to move my car. I can't park there.
Okay.
And he didn't have any right to tell me that. And he didn't have the right to tell Horne that he could park in front of my back door. And that's what he basically gave him the permission. When you watch that body camera footage, after he throws me in the back of the car, that seat was all the way back when he passed the seat. That was terrible. It was destruction. I was crushed. My feet were asleep when I got out of the damn thing. He's talking to Horne, and Horne's telling him, well, I was selling some cars there, and I come up and I see this guy.
So apparently you were arrested.
Yeah.
And you went to court on this.
Yeah.
Okay. And you had a chance to tell all that.
No, I didn't.
Why
I didn't. My freaking lawyer, William Nolan.
There you go.
William Nolan, he works for the city too. I don't know if you know, he was.
I don't have to know him, but
He was involved.
that was your opportunity to.
Well, I would have thought so, but William told me, if you try and go to a jury trial and you don't win, then you're gonna sit in the big gun jail for 6 months. That's just what Judge Lewis does.
That's about right.
And I said, well, you know, I let air out of the tower, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's $2 worth of air. And I understand that it's a violation, it's a crime. I understand, and I'm sorry that I did it, but all I did was let $2 worth of air out. He wrote down $200 tires, 2 of them. I ended up having to pay $500 for his tires that weren't torn up.
But how much would you have paid if you hadn't let the air out?
I was paying all
How
that.
much would you have had to pay if you hadn't let the air, if you hadn't got
I
suspended?
admit that I
There
was
you
wrong.
go. Sometimes you gotta pay a little bit of that.
But Enzo was wrong to let him park there.
Regardless.
He's never wrong, he's just always right.
No, I'm not saying he's right or wrong, and hey, you believe he's wrong, I'll go with that. But regardless, he could be 100% wrong. Still, a lot of this is coming from your choices, and they've been bad.
I don't agree with you.
You don't
I'm sorry,
agree that
not
this is
really.
coming from your.
I mean, I understand that I could have made a little different choice about, you know, being there waiting for the cops to get there with the gun, with my car, you know. But I didn't want to stick around with that guy with the gun.
No,
I really didn't.
But the thing
You know?
is, call and say, hey,
Well, I did talk to Chris Patterson.
it was after that, it was a long time.
Well, it was about a day or two.
Yeah, they would give you time to go home and think, what could I say, okay, this
I'm
is.
not trying to,
I didn't say that's what happened.
yeah.
But in the eyes of the law, that's what looks like could have happened. So all of this has already happened. We don't agree on it 100% on everything, but we don't
agree
with enough of it.
with a lot of it.
So, the thing for you to do at this point is go after whoever you need to civilly. And because you can complain about it until you're dead, it's just gonna take all this energy out of you.
It's taking a lot,
It
man.
is.
It's a lot.
And it
I'm
doesn't
gonna
need to
cry.
be. I know, it doesn't need to be that way.
It shouldn't be this way. I shouldn't have sat in that fucking jail for a second. I should have. I mean, when you ask somebody for help, is that extortion? It ain't extortion. I didn't tell them that if you'll do that, I did not.
This is not what you and I were talking about before. This is something that happened since then.
Yeah.
Okay, don't get upset with me about this.
Well, I'm upset about the whole thing, really.
Okay.
I mean, you know, my 10 complaints that I filed, they weren't all frivolous. They weren't. But for all 10 of them to come back as frivolous, it pisses me off. I mean, I didn't try and bring these things up, you know, about, you know, Deputy Ha coming out to the house after Enzar told him to come out there when I made a call about the Wi-Fi at my parents' house being hacked. I called it, Ha gets out of the car and says, don't call us anymore. We talked about this. And y'all had an investigator call me, and I talked to him, I said, yeah, Ha came out there and told me, you know, don't call y'all anymore. And wouldn't take my report or anything, and I didn't get anywhere. And I still haven't got anywhere. Yeah. You know, the DA lives, Anita Howard, she lives about 400 yards from my parents' house. That whole neighborhood is hacked, man. I'm telling you. I've got a computer information systems degree. Yeah, I don't know everything, but
There's probably more hacked than what you and I both know about.
But
You've been to the jail over here, you've been inside of it.
Yeah.
And you know how crowded it is, how many people there is in there.
yeah,
If
way
I
too
went-
many.
If we went over and asked each one of them if they did the crime, do you think they'd say yes or no?
No, they're all gonna say no, I'm
They all
sure.
gonna say no.
Yeah.
Alright, so they've all decided that they are innocent, but they're in there. How many of them do you think we get complaints from?
Probably a lot of them.
No.
No, huh? You know why?
That y'all got the game.
No, because the kiosk don't, you got to sit like this, man. I filed a complaint with the kiosk, and I can type 85 words a minute. I couldn't type about 1 word a minute on the damn kiosk.
Alright, I'm new here.
Yeah.
Already set up.
What record you need? Well, okay, yeah, that's all I need. Just report. Yeah, I'll do.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.